Welcome to Market Like a Hotshot, episode 64, Mr. Feudo.
64, and I can't believe we're back here at
CIC
Cambridge. We've got Christina Inge with us.
Yeah, this is special today, Christina. Let me just tell you.
We're excited to have her with us today.
To be here.
So if anyone doesn't know, as AMA president here, AMA Boston president, Christina is our VP of programming, doing some great stuff here in Greater Boston this coming fall, which we're really excited about, Christina.
Mm-hmm.
But today, we're gonna, kind of the agenda of our podcast today is, we'll get a little background, the evolution of Christina Inge. Yeah. We gotta understand that. Very dynamic person, and then we're gonna go into knowing your customer from a data perspective, like a hot shot. We've touched on this, James, a few times in previous episodes, but today we're really focusing on data, the ones and zeros of marketing. What do you think of that?
I'm excited. I'm a data person. I love, I know you don't use this, just to use a quick personal story. When Jeff and I drive into Cambridge, he doesn't use Waze or Google Maps or any of that stuff. I even driving around town, I always have it on there because I'm like, is there a cop? Is there traffic? Is there a road closure?
That means you speed a lot if you're worried about the cops.
Nah, I'm not that bad.
Okay. See that?
But I just want to say on a personal note, it's really exciting to have Christina here. You and I met for the first time, believe it or not, at the podcast garage.
I remember that.
Back, what was it, last October?
Yeah, it was about a year ago.
Yeah.
So it's we've kind of come full circle. I think we were at episode 20-something.
Oh, my word.
And here
23.
we are. 23.
I remember that.
Whoa.
Because, you were talking to David about that.
David and Scott, who we're going to have.
We'll shout him out, too.
Shout him out.
But, I'm excited to do this. Again, we're at beautiful CIC Cambridge. We love this facility here. And we're so thankful that we have you with us.
I'm excited to be here. I'm very thankful to be here because, I feel like I grew up here at CIC Cambridge. I've been a tenant for 12 years with my own agency, Thoughtlight. Wow. And I used to work before for another agency back in the mid-2000s. So off and on, I've been a CIC member for 18 years. So.
Yeah, they should start calling this CIC, Christina Inge Community. We just changed the name.
I love it.
Don't tell Tim Rowe I said that. He would not be happy. But Christina Inge Community here in Cambridge.
She puts a CI in CIC.
I love that. That should be my T-shirt. I need a T-shirt.
That's what marketers do. Right?
Next time at Venture Cafe, I'm going to say that when I introduce you to people.
I'm going to get a T-shirt.
So tell us a little bit. Like I said, Christina has an amazing background. Yeah. So, I know you said you started a corporate, started your own business. Now you're teaching. So, kind of hit those highlights there.
Oh, thank you. Because I always tell people, I tell my students, pick a career you love, but don't get obsessed about a certain job title or an industry, because marketing is so dynamic. And I would say my career really reflects that. I started out in corporate in the early 2000s, go back way far, and I'm going to admit how old I am. I graduated from college in 1998, and I thought I was going to be a print journalist.
Oh boy, what's that?
It's sort of like a buggy whip maker.
Yeah.
You churn butter all day. And I had a very successful 2-year career as a journalist before it all just went boom. And did a brief stint in the .com bubble. And then I realized that all of the skills that go into being a good journalist and digital citizen, writing, understanding storytelling, understanding the facts that underlie a situation, also make you a good marketer, especially a data-driven marketer. So I went back to school to get my master's in education. And in the meantime, I took a little temporary job at a publishing house, Reed Elsevier, in market research.
Nice.
And it was a temp agency that placed me, and I was like, what's that? What's market research? I got bitten by the bug like that. And from there, I got a marketing manager job at a tech startup, and then another one, had a senior director role, VP roles in marketing. And then 12 years ago, I decided to hang out my own shingle and start my agency, Thoughtlight. We are So we celebrated 12 years in July, actually.
Wow,
That's
time
a huge
flies.
milestone.
Time
you know?
flies, man.
And you were here at CIC the whole time with Thoughtlight was in business, right?
Whole time. Thoughtlight grew up with CIC Boston. I went in there when it was plywood on the floors and only the service elevator. The whole place was being rehabilitated and renovated. And I've been a tenant there ever since. CIC is just such a beautiful community.
It is. There's hundreds of companies here, right?
Yeah.
At least. So it's a great place to be a marketer. I tell you that, right?
It is.
Yeah, and then you're a well-known professor of marketing. I heard here, right?
Yeah.
On top of it all.
It was my side hustle, which again, I always tell people, do what you love.
Yeah.
It sounds naive, so don't be dumb. Like if what you love is, I don't know, doing manicures on horses, don't do that.
I like to see manicures on horses. That would be an interesting picture.
Yes, it sounds both dangerous and economically unrewarding.
It
Yeah.
sounds too much like My Little Pony. I remember
My
that.
Little Pony.
So
Oh my goodness.
it's a hybrid of doing what you love, but also following the market where your skills are in demand.
Right.
When I started Thoughtlight, I had already been teaching a little bit at the Boston University Center for Digital Imaging Arts, doing some classes on SEO. And you know how it is when you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to do multiple things to keep the lights on your first year in business.
Yeah.
And I had some great clients, been with me from the start, are still with me. But I started just a little side gig to keep some income and health insurance running.
Health insurance. Oh, yeah.
And
Here in Massachusetts.
it's all hard. So I started just first assistant teaching and then teaching at a small institution you may have heard of called Harvard University. Just a little local enterprise.
Yeah.
I loved teaching, but I always thought of myself as a marketer first and foremost.
Yeah,
AI is transforming everything.
it is.
And I got recruited by Northeastern University. Go Huskies!
Huskies.
Huskies! Woo! Go Huskies! They recruited me 6 years ago to help run their student marketing agency.
Yeah.
And then 2023, I helped and am still helping overhaul the DGM Digital Marketing Master's Program,
Wow.
driven by AI. So
Yeah.
more and more my work has been teaching people how to cope with all of the changes that are happening in the industry. And then I started the AI marketing micro certificate at Harvard, which is stackable into a master's program. And we sell out every semester. So I have to say parts of my business I've lost to AI.
Yeah.
And then parts of my teaching are currently very rewarding because of AI. So it's the flexibility. You have to know who you are, know what you're good at, but also be willing to let go of things in marketing that are no longer what clients and industry want,
Yeah.
and then follow the thing that people do want so that you have a robust career.
I love it. Love it. So that's a great background. Awesome background. Now, let's jump right into understanding your customer like a hot shot.
Yeah. Tell us
Hotshot Nation
more
out
about
there.
that. The
Hotshot
Hotshots want to
Nation.
hear
So
more.
we say a data approach because data is data, and I always recommend. I don't know what your students is. They always ask us, we're us.
Awesome.
What should I get into? I always say data because you have to understand. How else are you going to understand a fully qualified lead and a customer without data? So I would expand on that one.
It really is. I mean, being on the creative side of marketing, I hugely admire great videographers, great designers. I'm a nerd,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
I would not have a career in marketing if data analytics had not become part of marketing because, like I said, I took that temp job in market research, and understanding customers is what is the key differentiator. People come up with ideas of like, oh, I've invented a new pen or a new microphone.
What do you think of that pen? Isn't it?
It's a fantastic pen. It is the
It's High Bar. Shout out to High Bar Physical Therapy. I met them down in Rhode Island at an event. It's a really funky pen.
and you know
Like
what?
it.
It probably gets people in their door.
Yeah, it does.
I always hear people saying, oh, I've invented this new great thing and that great thing. But, the only person who thinks that you've invented a great thing is you. and maybe your best friend or your mom or something.
So true.
And the customers may or may not like it. So understanding what your customer wants, what drives them, and what their other options are so that you can differentiate yourself is what separates the dreamers from the companies that really succeed.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point. I mean, we had Jeff Berman on the show a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
And remember, that was one of the things about, we asked him where most entrepreneurs fail or founders fail. And it's exactly that. But they're building something based on what they want, not on what the customer
wants.
is looking for.
So it's almost like today we're expanding on what Jeff Berman said with Christina.
Yeah.
And like, how do we kind of diving in a little bit.
Yeah.
When we say data, right? How do you collect the data?
Yeah.
Some ways of doing that. And what's the best way to analyze it? With a little bit of AI thrown in, of course, initially.
Yep.
Of course, that's when 2026, we got to
Right.
say
Always
that.
gotta say AI.
And then, of course, the human in the loop. Expand on that a little bit.
We have more ways to collect data than ever before.
True.
When I got started, we were doing surveys. We still do surveys, focus groups. I think that with AI, the analog, the human in the loop is more important than ever. So you want to talk to real life human beings. You want to do the focus groups. You want to do the surveys. We also have all the digital tools. You have web analytics. You have A/B testing where you can give people different versions of an ad or a website and see what they click on.
Yeah.
Site visit recorders where you can literally spy on your site visitors anonymously and see what they're clicking on.
Yeah.
Every channel where you are meeting customers, whether it's advertising, whether it's organic social, whether paid social, organic, or paid search, has its own data stream saying what are people clicking on, what interests them, what do they say ho-hum to and don't pay any attention to. I think what you want to do is you want to look at all of your data sources. Don't trust your advertising vendors to say, oh, our ads are what made you $1 million.
Not really.
No.
Not really.
They're going to report one set of numbers. You're going to look at your web analytics. You're going to see something else. So collect all of your data streams into one place, but also go talk to your actual customers. Do customer interviews.
That's so true.
And then collect it all in one place. I think we're drowning in data. I think the problem is the collection and the consolidation on being able to understand it all.
Great point. Eventually having it consolidated in one place so that way you can take the next step.
Yeah, having it like a nice clean dashboard so that you can see what's key data.
Absolutely. And I think that's where AI is the marketer's best friend now.
Yeah. Because it could number crunch like crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one of the best uses for AI these days is grabbing that data, pumping in a log file, having it go through it or your analytics and just say, summarize this, tell me what it does,
Absolutely. And it's what gives us smaller companies, Thoughtlight has never had more than 15 employees to 18 employees at a time. Us little guys, the small business, the startup. Speaking of which, we're going to have a Startup Boston event next month.
Yes.
At
So I do a quick announcement.
We are a big announcement here from Market Like a Hotshot. We will be at Startup Boston on September 15th at 10 a.m. in Boston University. So we just posted that event.
Tuesday, the second day of Boston Startup Week.
Startup Boston.
I was confused the two and call it the wrong thing. But you get the picture. If you search startup in Boston,
you'll find it.
You'll find us.
See us there too.
So so go.
And AMA Boston is having an event here at the other CIC building, 245 Main, September 18th. So you will wrap up Startup Boston with an event on how to get your first customers.
I love that.
I love it.
So
we got to get that posted too.
Exactly, because you got to be there. Because us little guys, as startups, as small business owners, we were at a total disadvantage because the big companies, they could afford data scientists or the enterprise tools that are hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they could take in all of these streams of data, crunch those numbers. But, we didn't have those kinds of bucks.
Yeah.
AI leveled the playing field because now you put it into Claude and you can get
Claude
enterprise.
Is insane. I mean, I just, as my main gig is as an executive recruiter, like I can go through my 16,000 network connections and say, give me the 10 best people for this role, or it's just,
It's crazy.
that's
It's
almost
insane how
number
much some of
crunching.
this agentic stuff,
It's done.
and I say this at the risk of not being able to credit the person who has said this, but there was a podcast I was listening to, and unfortunately the name escapes me of who it was, that said, at some point there's going to be a business with $1 billion valuation
Mhm.
with one employee, everything else is AI agents.
Yeah.
I don't think that's far-fetched. I
It's
actually
not.
think something like that could
We
really
meet,
happen.
we meet some people here at Venture Cafe sometimes. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm the CEO of my company, but I don't have any W-2 employees
Yeah.
at all,
Or any employees.
It's zero,
I mean, the thing is that AI is a little overused. It's funny because, like you mentioned, the people that we meet, it goes back to your first point, Christina, about they come up with an idea like, oh, I'm going to have AI build this thing, but there's really no market for it.
Yeah.
Right? It sounds cool. It's exciting that it'll do, maybe it's like, it'll visualize some colors and things like that, or maybe it tells your kid a story at night. But is there really a market for something that'll do it? And I think that's the biggest challenge with AI, because there's just so many possibilities that, it's
Nuts.
Yeah.
So important data. So let's get into that. We have this, now we're at a point where we've collected, we consolidated,
Mhm.
extracting out of that. What's important?
You need to understand a few things about your customer. One, what do they want? Like, if I'm buying coffee mugs, what do I, as a customer, look for in a coffee mug? Probably durability, cost.
If you drop it on a ceramic floor, it doesn't break.
Does it break?
Does it not chip?
Does it not exactly? Does it keep your drink warm? But you might be looking for something else. You might want a larger mug. You might want one that is commuter mug. Your wife might
Dishwasher
want
safe.
one that is personalizable. Ask anybody, and different groups of customers want one specific thing.
Yeah.
And people will often say, oh no, my product's for everybody. But you know what? So Target already has everything for everybody, or Amazon.
Yeah.
You need to find your niche. So you need to understand who is your perfect customer and what do they want? What makes you special to them?
They want.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not everybody. Don't try to sell to everybody.
Yeah.
Try to find an ideal customer. Maybe that's somebody who there's not a solution in the market that's perfect for them. Maybe college students are not getting the right coffee mugs or whatever. And then understand their psychology and understand how you stand apart from the competition. That's another important piece of data about customers that people don't think about is competitive analysis.
Yeah.
I work with entrepreneurs. They never want to talk about their competitors, but guess what? Your customers are already thinking about your competitors. So you need to understand what they think about.
They are.
Yeah, exactly. So think about what your customers think of your competitors and then understand how you position against them. That's part one. But you were going to say?
Well, I was going to just ask you to elaborate a little bit because, as you mentioned, your customer isn't everybody, but sometimes I know we, at JVF, we run into a lot of times people will come to us and we have three types of customers we're trying to attract.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use us as an example that, when we do our social media, our primary audience is our current and potential customers.
Okay.
Another audience we have is potential team members.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the bad one.
Uh-oh.
The third one is that sometimes we put stuff out there knowing that our competitors are watching us and we kind of flex a little.
You're flexing your muscles.
Flex a little, yeah.
He's flexing.
So,
now he goes to the gym one day and he has to he's just flexing his
hey,
muscles.
but I've been running for 3 weeks now.
All right.
Okay.
So, we should have done this. We should do a fall challenge, not the spring challenge.
Yeah,
on that.
Matt.
No, but getting to that though, we do get a lot of people that will come to us along those lines where it's like they have a customer that might be, a solopreneur, and then their second customer might be, an HR director or a marketing director at a large organization. Those are two very different,
Mm-hmm.
those are two very different audiences, two different types of approaches. What is your recommendation when you have multiple, not just saying we're going to blast everything out to everybody. What is your recommendation for people that have maybe one or two or more different types of customers?
It's a great question. It has two answers. One is a branding answer, one's a data answer. So from a branding perspective, I would say develop a brand that resonates with both, but still feels at least specific enough just to those two audiences and doesn't sound too generic. The data question is that usually different customers might interact with you in different ways or on different channels. Maybe your enterprise customer likes a white paper, they're going to do a demo. Your solopreneur is more of a do business on a handshake type of guy or gal.
Right.
So that gets to the second thing you need to understand about your customers. What is their preferred channel and message? What are they clicking on? What are they reading on your website? What are they engaging with on your YouTube channel? And give them more of that. Goes back to give them what they want.
Right.
So understand not just what they want product or service-wise from you, but how do they want that information delivered to them, and what parts of the message are most interesting or relevant to them. And then that way you can maybe be speaking to the SMBs on maybe your website or your events, your blog, and your B2B channel is more your white papers, your conferences, maybe your LinkedIn. But you need to look at the data of where you're acquiring your customers from right now. And then that is why you need a CRM. So you can actually trace a customer back to, hey, how did I find you?
Yeah,
Did you call
exactly.
me? Where you have it? Yeah, you need that CRM.
The CRM's essential. I mean, you can honestly with HubSpot, you can get the free version just to get started, right? Easily, and you have to. Every company has to have a CRM.
You have to have a CRM.
That's where your data is really stored at the end of the day, right? So,
and that's always a tricky one, especially for the hotshots out there. A lot of them are, we have conversations with people and they ask for CRM recommendations. I mean, HubSpot's kind of the gold standard. That
I'm only bringing HubSpot up because they're a Boston/Cambridge-based company, right? Ryan Halligan, shout out, starting at.
But I mean, like if you're more enterprise, Salesforce is often more appropriate as well.
Expensive though.
Yeah, it is. So, and there's a bunch of different other options, but you're right.
So how about the outcome now? Kind of landed the plane here because, all right, I don't know about you. Right? Yeah. You have a company. End of the day, you want to make money.
Exactly.
Right? So, of course, it's targeting the right customers that they'll buy from you. Let's kind of expand on the outcome.
That is the critical question because people will do all of this measurement. And there's, Avinash Kaushik makes a really good point, and Eric Ries, who founded the Lean Startup movement, around vanity metrics. Oh, a bunch of people like my social media. Well, great. Good for you.
Did that translate to dollar signs?
Did that turn into money? Did that turn into even? And I get, right, there's a funnel, right? You have a customer journey. You want to attribute everything you do, give it all credit where credit is due. Yeah. But some things move the needle towards people converting and some things don't push people down the funnel at all.
Yeah.
So you want to set what are called key performance indicators, KPIs. And those should be related to either actual dollars or what we call a leading indicator. The dollars are about to happen, like a sales demo. That's the outcome. The outcome is not people love you on social because you know what? They love Jiminy or Jimothy the raccoon on social, but raccoons don't make money.
They don't.
I'd like to have Jimothy be a wealthy raccoon, but right now he's getting all the love on social. And is it turning into ROI for him? I don't know.
That happens to so many people. We see people that they consider themselves influencers or micro-influencers. And, they may get thousands of likes every time they post something, but they're not monetizing it. And,
gotta monetize.
And this is Jeff, a few episodes ago, we did the marketing crimes.
Yeah.
And the vanity metrics is a huge, huge one, especially if you're in corporate, because that's what they want to see. Yeah. How many likes did we get? How many interactions?
They fire people because you're gonna get 1,000 likes on that.
Yeah, you didn't get 1,000 likes on your video, but wait,
But meanwhile, the company's making a ton of money. The outcome happened, right? They sold their product or service, but they've seen an increase in sales. So it's good stuff. So kind of summarize, from the start, you have it's almost like a funnel, right? At the end of the day, right? understanding your customer.
Understanding your customer means, first of all, understanding that you are not for everybody. You have to identify your ideal customer, and that can involve competitive and industry research to find out who's underserved right now in the market. Then understand what they want. Do customer interviews, do customer surveys, but talk to people. Then understand how they want to be talked to and how are you now currently successful at talking to them. Look at all of your data sources, your web analytics, your social media data, your advertising data, your click-through rates, your engagement rates, but pull them all together. AI makes it easy to pull it into dashboards and to analyze that data to find out where am I resonating with customers and where are they just ignoring me. And then finally, don't just look at the numbers to boost your ego. Set KPIs, key performance indicators that are either centered on revenue or centered on leading indicators of revenue. In other words, signs that people want to do business with you. And measure whether everything you do in marketing is actually bringing people down the funnel into being engaged with your company. And this, by the way, people ask me, does it apply to nonprofits? It absolutely does, because a nonprofit still has the bottom line.
They have an outcome.
They have an outcome. It could be,
if your company has an outcome, I mean,
it doesn't necessarily have to be profit. It could be donations. It could be, involvement, volunteer recruitment, all of that good stuff.
I've done trainings for public health, for the Mass Department of Public Health. Their outcome is fewer people in Massachusetts die unnecessarily of things.
Yeah.
That's their outcome. That's their KPI.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. So, wow, this was a great episode.
This was fun.
And it's a lot of good info. I'm sure the Hotshots out there.
Hotshot Nation. Christina Inge is the source. You amaze me.
Oh, thank you. You amaze me. You amaze me.
It's just all the stuff you've done. I've known you for about a good 12 years now, right?
Yeah.
Back the days of the Microsoft Nerd Center. Right?
I remember. Oh man, those were good.
It's right behind us, actually.
I've only known you for almost a year.
But I'm the person who brought the good blueberry muffins that time.
I remember it. It was so good.
Yes.
She's a good cook too. So just let you know.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
So Hotshot Nation. Know your customer, understand your customer like a hot shot. Hope you enjoyed it. Just of course, check out marketlikeahotshot.com. I heard Mr. Feudo's making some changes.
Yep, we've been making some updates to the website. It is going to be so exciting. So probably by the time you all start listening or watching this, there'll be some cool stuff out there.
Yeah, and then like I said, Startup Boston on the 15th of September.
That's going to be huge. And then we're
going to be doing
we're leaving the state of Massachusetts. We're going to be doing our first. And Jeff and I, we were talking about this. Like we want to bring this really on the road. So 2027.
Yeah.
Watch for some dates. A city near you. Who knows? Seattle, LA.
We're going to be in Rhode Island at the Industrial in Pawtucket, Rhode Island on October 15th. So a month after Startup Boston. And I heard Capey's. I would say
we're going to do Capey's in November.
So these will be all live broadcasts. We'll have guests come up, ask questions. And, it'll be a little more music focused with the Hotshot Resistance Band.
Yeah, keep an eye out on Spotify, Apple Music, Hotshot Resistance. We have 3 songs out there right now. Another 7 are scheduled to be out the first.
The remix album.
Yeah, it's volume 2. I should have done volume 2, part 2, what we did. But you'll see that around September 9th. I believe those should be dropping on Spotify.
Look out, Taylor Swift. We're coming after you.
Yeah, and there's some really cool new songs on there.
Yeah.
Plus, you'll recognize our intro and our outro. We have the full tracks for those.
Yeah.
Really exciting. And some alternate versions of our theme songs, plus a couple new ones.
Awesome stuff.
Love it.
All right. Well, Hotshot Nation, we'll see you all soon. marketlikeahotshot.com. Christina Inge. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Go Huskies.
Go Huskies, Northeastern, baby. Have a good day.
Take care.
Take care.